the smartwatch was really the start as far as the noise consumer tech story was concerned. And today you are the leading brand in India. In fact, you're amongst the top 5 globally as well. I mean, did you imagine that for yourself? You said you were not even ambitious. So when it started to happen, what was the feeling at that point in time?
See, honestly, when you start, you don't keep such goals. And like you said, we did not raise, so we were not doing it for anybody else. We just wanted to do right things for our own self. So doing it sustainably, creating a brand which is long lasting rather than creating a brand which is doing 500 things and not doing anything right. So yeah, ultimately it was all about sticking to what you know.
Yeah.
When we first got to know, we did not realize, we did not even want it to be the number one, because there was no ranking. That when you start growing slowly, you don't understand there is a ranking, somebody's tracking it and all those. And you start getting into that game and you start seeing the numbers and you start realizing, yeah, these numbers are achievable. And being in India, the country allows you to sell X number of units, which are much, much larger than the population of multiple continents, I would say, not even countries, continents also, the user base, right? So that allows you to reach to the volumes that that are not possible anywhere outside India. And I think when you start getting these numbers then start motivating you to do better, and then gives you that inspiration to take bigger leaps and start thinking into the global brand era. And why not why not?
So now you're thinking global, right?
Obviously. Now, I think at the stage where we are in, we are able to see that happening easily. So I think we always believed in going step by step. From standing on the first step, you can't see the 10th. Yeah. You look at second, then you look at third. So gradually you move.
So now, 10 years, so you're on the 10th step. So as you look ahead, what is it that you envision now? What does the future for you look like?
So me and Gaurav, like I said, we want to build something where we are proud of ourselves using it and gifting to our friends and family. And if you look at now, there are no Indian brands which have gone globally. If you look at it in our space tech, I think we have seen people coming to India. We all use American brands or Chinese brands. None of from India or German brands actually. So none Indian brands have gone out. So we really want to take on that journey where can we build a brand which is of a global
So what's the plan? I mean, that's the ambition and that's the aspiration. What's the plan? What's the execution map?
No, so I think execution map, I think still for a year or so, I personally think India is a great market to be in. We have huge young population. Our investors keep telling us that we are so jealous of you that you have a huge population in this country and the income is growing every day. So we want to focus here for a while and then maybe gradually start pivoting to markets which are meaningful to the business.
Okay. You talked about investors and I'm curious, once things started to pick up as far as you were concerned, I would imagine that there would have been investor interest. People would have said, hey, look, let's talk, let's grab a drink and discuss whether you want capital or not. What was going on at that point in time? And until Bose came on board, there must have been plenty of other offers as well, I would imagine.
So I think for us, we never built, I think the kind of backgrounds I come from, I built my first business, which was again bootstrapped, profitable. So we never built businesses to raise capital. So fundamentally, we were right from day one, every unit has to make money. So from day one,
your banker father is training.
Maybe. So every unit you sell has to make money end of the day. So that's how we built on day one. So we never felt the need for capital. And honestly, for us, capital was always...
You may never have felt the need for capital, but, around you, everybody is raising $1 billion or, crazy amounts of money. Was there never a temptation to...
So I've seen these phases, when people used to come for interviews, let's say a graduate just out of college and used to ask us, Kier, how much capital do you have in the bank so that I can join you?
They were asking you this question.
Yeah, I said, man, what are you talking about? I mean, just out a graduate, a basic graduate, how can you talk this? So but that was the air. Now people have started suddenly for last 2 years talking about profitably. And now...
Unit economics.
Now all of a sudden we have come up, unit economics are very good. So coming back, I think for us, color of money is important. I mean, the kind of capital you raise in, and besides capital, what value add anybody can do. So maybe when Bose came in actually, so maybe we could...
How did that happen? I mean, did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to them? How did that happen?
So again, like I said, that, I mean, we never thought that what could happen with Bose, because such things has never happened and Bose has never made such investments in the past. So we are the first consumer investment in the history of a Bose also. So I think why us before why investment? So I think India as a country, I think nobody could keep their eyes off. And sitting in US, they can't ignore India. And we gonna.
But you want to play India by investing in noise? I mean, that's quite something.
No, I think they realize that India is a tough market. Not everybody can do, and maybe they would have tried doing it at their own. And you need a local expertise also. India is a market, different states we talked about, subcontinent. So they realized that they're a good partner. They approached to us, by the way. They were looking out, and they realized that they have been executing for last 10 years. Being bootstrapped, which I spoke to them later on, why did they invest in us? So there were a lot of synergy happening there. And when we got this opportunity, we said, for any brand, nothing better can happen.
Yeah, I mean, they're synonymous with their category. I mean, it is...
Besides, look at the reputation they have.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at...
Legendary.
You know them, that they are tech for audio. They are best known from experience. So we realized that can this bring an audio experience to the user in India, which is at an unparalleled cost. So I think that went more exciting for us.
Well, in many ways, it probably has given you the currency that you were looking for. I mean, of course, sales and profitability, all of that matters. But for a legendary brand like Bose to want to play the India market by investing in your company, I mean, that's a statement.
So when you have someone like Bose as your partner, your recognition, your stature in the ecosystem directly goes up. Right? Your believability as a brand, when you go and speak to someone, let's say, if I want to launch my brand in Germany, if I just go as a noise and I go noise expose, there is a immediate attention and there is immediate acceptance that start coming in. And I think when you asked about what would be their execution plan and how do you think about going global and stuff, though the focus would always remain India, because this territory still has not been served at the potential that is. But, the partnership that is there, that should allow us a lot of executional muscle and help in terms of expanding and probably giving that experience that we all are wanting about, giving the tech that we all think that should go out of the global. So I think that should be our strategy. But beyond that, I think what Bose has also seen, which Amit has not been able to mention, is the tech piece that we are very, very closely working on. There has been a lot of innovation piece that we have started building in-house. There is a lot of R&D that we have started doing in-house, probably only brand in the country at this point of time who's investing that much of time and energy and resources to build tech closely in-house rather than borrowing.
And that goes back to the differentiation philosophy that's driving it.
And that's the synergy, right? That they believe that it is not a random brand that is just picking up stuff from everywhere, but it's just a brand which is trying to create that difference that we were speaking about, and there cannot be any other partnership. Plus, when you have a great young brand around you, it also keeps you alive and gives you the consumer check, right? The consumer attention very, very
connect
fast.
with Gen Z.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would imagine. What is a day like in the lab, today? I mean, how many people do you have working there? How many pilots or experiments are on? How long does it take you to go from ideation to execution?
So I think we have close to around 50 odd people working in engineering design team, and I think we have multiple projects going on, and what you see are out of few which gets a day in life. And honestly, we have some moonshots also which we keep doing, and it takes a little longer. So I think but a good product takes 8 to 12 months to
8 to 12 months from idea to execution.
Idea to execution, we have to be that fast onto it. So it takes that.
And what is are you looking, I mean, how many launches do you look at in a year? What's the plan on that front? Because as you said, you want to be nimble, you want to be agile, you also want to be fresh in the market. So what's the plan when it comes to sort of staying in touch with the trends that the consumer is looking at?
So I think, so what we do is actually, we have a lot of, so first of all, we have a mobile app which is the largest in the country. I think we have close to 20 million plus downloads, and we are the largest health and fitness app download in the country.
Okay.
So which means you look at the data, what comes in. So we get a lot of consumer insights from there. I think we have close to 1 million, and 10 lakh users come on the app every day. Where are they spending time? What are the products we need to build for them? So like, I should tell you, there are 70% of the users spend time in changing the watch face of a watch, which is purely lifestyle factor. And we were looking at facts that there is people change watch faces once in 2 days. Once in 2 days?
Once in 2 days, really? Wow.
2 to 4 times in a week.
And out of active users, only 1% user are there who log a workout every day. So you can imagine how active as a country we are.
Not very.
Only 1%. So I mean, that keeps us going over what products to build on actually.
Right.
And also what happens when you are a leader in the space, you get honestly a lot of support from all the partners. Like there are chipset companies who work with us very closely to bring first set of chipsets. There are sensor companies who work very closely with us and bigger brands to come up first. So I think that gives a tech advantage also for us.
Yeah.
Where the market is heading, we are co-creating products with them together.
But let's also talk about manufacturing, because while you're focusing on R&D, you're also focusing on building out your manufacturing capabilities here. I mean, what is the current capacity like as far as manufacturing is concerned? And this is a business where the margins have always been thin. Traditionally, the margins are always thin. So, again, how much leverage do you have there now with in-house R&D, in-house manufacturing to kind of build on margins?
No, so with respect to the capacity that we're talking about for the manufacturing, we are sitting at 1 odd million units every month is what we can do. Probably we are doing that much and have a capacity to increase it to 1.5 million. So I think ultimate aim is to keep things closer and you have a better control on quality, experience and things like that. So that's the reason that we are building more on the R&D and manufacturing.
So, how come you guys don't make as much noise about noise? I mean, there's a lot of your competitors who are quite noisy, but you're sort of playing under the radar. Is that strategic?
I don't think these things are planned or strategic, but I personally think we have enough on our plate to do at work. And I think that keeps us busy. So I think we want to make some noise through the work, what we make and not be talk.
I think brand has made enough of the noise. That's why one of the fourth user is noise smartwatch user. But yeah, as a personality, we have always been busy in work. And honestly, it never felt like that it has been 10 years in our own work. Never realized that it is 10 years. We just celebrated it a few weeks back. It's when we were just driving to the celebration area and then we were just thinking, and it's been 10 years and not many companies who have been able to sustain those 10 years tough time. But yeah, I think there's been enough noise with respect to the work. But yeah, I think we enjoy the way that we are operating and pretty happy with that.